Well, welcome back to Expressions of Destiny podcast. This is Jennifer. Today is Faith-Filled Friday. Another week has come and gone, and I just couldn't wait to get to today. This is probably my favorite day of the week when I get to share my heart and just really pour out, whatever really that I've just been maybe thinking about, feeling, dealing with, maybe just things that have happened throughout the week. But I just come to encourage you today, and I want to start today with actually a song that I just heard for the first time today. Can you believe that? And it was done by the same group, that I love to listen to, Maverick City Worship, but they were actually in collaboration with another group named Wilder. And so I wanted to share this song because the lyrics just really hit me. And it really tied in with, well, if you're not thinking about it, you wouldn't see the tie-in, but it really tied in with how I was feeling lately. And the song is called Heaven's Secrets. And actually the title of today's episode, as I was trying to figure out, what exactly I wanted to talk about, was the secrets of my heart. And just to share how we, every day, we get up being who we are and what we've been created to do and to be. But a lot of times we hold on to a lot of secrets. And I don't mean, secrets that just can't be told, but things that we choose to hold on to for the purpose of keeping peace and building relationship. And so let me explain, but I want to read the lyrics of the song first. And so again, the song is called Heaven's Secrets. And the lyrics say, "You don't let a tear fall, you collect them all. And you don't waste our suffering, you're with us in the rain. This aching heart won't last forever. I know that all things work together. As if your love wasn't enough, you promised us all of heaven's secrets. I know that we will see it. There's nothing you keep from us all. All I have to do is trust. You sing to my sorrow. You turn it into joy. The wind carries your whisper, and I can hear your still small voice saying, this aching heart won't last forever. I know that all things work together." And then it ends with, I can feel peace coming. I can see fear running. Your love, it just does something. It sets my feet to dancing. And this song is just such a beautiful picture of our relationship with God. He's talking about all the things he does for us, everything that he does to love on us, the things that he takes that, that are stirred up in our body that create fear and pain and sadness and frustration, and he turns it into joy. He makes that fear take off running just in a moment. And I guess the thing that really hit me was that we can be that joy. We can be that thing or that person who helps others, who pours into others in a moment where they may be feeling torn down. In a moment where you think about the things that I get frustrated with don't really matter. They're not something I need to worry about right now, because this person over here doesn't need to have to deal with everything, all the garbage that I'm about to spew out. So I'm going to hide that thing inside of me for a moment. I'm going to refrain because I don't need to be adding more fluid to that flame. I don't need to be adding more bitterness and anger and hatred to that flame. And so in doing that, we ask our Father, Lord, just take it from me. Just remove this from me, relieve me of this, and fill me with your joy and with your love and your peace so that I can shower that out on the person that is maybe sitting beside me or that needs a friend in order to help them get through whatever it is that they're going through. And so let me explain a little bit further what drove me to this, is that I've noticed a lot lately, and I know it's been around for a long time. I know nothing has changed, but at an increasingly rate, there are so many people who feel that they have to rise up in the morning on a platform, with whatever it is that they are going to advocate for, whatever it is that they are going to protest against, whatever it is that they are going to fight and battle and be that voice to. And sometimes it's not necessary, because we live in a world filled with so many individuals who have views that they may not exactly agree upon. They disagree. And you've heard me say it many times if you've been listening for a while. One of my favorite things to speak, and not only speak, but to act on. Because it's one thing to say something, but it's another thing to actually act on it and to live it. But it's to remind people that we agree to disagree. It does not necessarily mean that you are wrong and I am right, or I am wrong and you are right, but we just disagree. And we're going to agree on that because I don't want to fight you on it. And so if you were to go and look, and this is why I said the secrets of my heart, because I'm going to be personal with you today. But if you were to go and look at my social media accounts and just the different pages that we have, business pages, you probably would never know how I stand on the issues of today. You would have no idea which way I lean, what do I choose, my political views, you can assume that you know, but you will never really know unless you know me. And I do that on purpose because I don't like to stir up unnecessary frustration. I don't like to stir up unnecessary negative feelings, and be the cause of that headbutting relationship with the people that I love. And so I won't protest the things that I love, but I will in silence just continue to live in what I believe. And so you know that old saying where your actions speak louder than words. I would rather you know me as someone who has loved on you and has been there for you than someone who didn't love on you and wasn't there for you, but made a point to tell you everything that I thought, was right and wrong in this world. Now, maybe some of y'all can agree with that. Maybe some of y'all can't. Again, we agree to disagree. But when I wake up in the morning, I don't want to be on a platform or a pedestal to unleash my views. I want to be in a position to say, how can I love you today? And how can I help you grow in whatever it is that you're doing? How can I just be there to listen when you need somebody to listen? What can I just pray for you? Can we just hold each other up? And we're missing that. We really are, because a lot of relationships have been destroyed even in the past few years, because of everything that's going on in this world, the political views, differing opinions of our leadership, this pandemic, and, the choices that people make with their body, which is what is, taking place right now, my body, my choice, in so many different ways. And so we allow that to get between us and the people that we've loved and have had in our life for so long. We allow those things to tear down and to break apart relationship and connection. We allow those things to burn the bridges that we have built for so many years. And for what? So we can sit lonely and removed from the lives of those that had always been there for us. And so when I heard this song and I started thinking about the secrets of my heart, what are the secrets of my heart? Well, you will never really know where I stand on things unless I let you know, unless I feel it necessary. And a lot of times, honestly, when I'm sitting in a group, mostly with women, or if I'm in a class or something, and they're talking about things going on in this world and politics and everything else, I don't even open my mouth unless somebody specifically asks me a question. You open the door for me to speak, then I'll go ahead and speak. And even then, I use a lot of wisdom in making sure that I don't just speak just for the sake of speaking. But if you want to know where I stand and you ask, then I'll share it with you. But otherwise, I have no reason to speak up and open my mouth. It's not that I can't, I just have no reason to do it. I feel there's no reason to do it. And so that had been really heavy on me because I've just been noticing a lot of negative interaction, a lot of disconnection, a lot of relationships that have fallen out. And you look at that and it kind of hurts because we've allowed these things of the world to get between us and the people that we love. And so I heard this song, and it was interesting that it was called Heaven's Secrets, and I had been thinking about the secrets of my heart. And the Heaven's Secrets was the reverse, let me back. It wasn't a reverse. It was a picture of how we should operate according to how God operates in our life. And I want to go back to some of these words because it says, you don't let a tear fall. You collect them all. So when I'm standing beside you as your friend and you're pouring out your heart, I don't have room to think about whether I agree with what you are upset about or not, or if I feel that you need to shake it off and move on, or if I feel like, how much longer is this going to take? I don't have time and the place to do that. But I want to be the love of God that says, I don't want to let your tears fall to the ground. I want to stand here and collect them. I want you to know that I'm right here with you. I hear you, and I'm praying for you. It says, and you don't waste our suffering. You're with us in the rain. If God can stand there with us when we are at our worst and we are just crying our eyes out and so unsure of our life and the things that are going on, and we can't understand why we are going through what we're going through, then why can't we be that same love to somebody else? Push your own differences and your own issues aside and step into the love of God. It goes on to say, the aching heart won't last forever. I know that all things work together. So we can't remain broken. We have to be there to help mend. We may not be able to return something back to the way that it was, but we can help mend that thing or that person. We can help that person heal. It goes on to say, as if your love wasn't enough, you promised us all of heaven's secrets. I know that we will see it. There's nothing you keep from us. All I have to do is trust. Do you know how many people in this world are feeling like there's nothing left to live for? Or they're feeling like they are not worth anything. And God promised us everything, not just to one person, not just to, whoever does everything according to the way that we think it needs to be done. He promised it to all of us. We just have to receive it. And in being the love of God, we're able to remind others and to pour out on others and say, He wants you to be healed. He wants you to mend. He wants you to operate in the fullest of your purpose and your potential and what He's created you for. So right now, right here, if I need to hold you up for just a moment and pray God's strength over you and help you walk through so that you can rise up from where you are and get back into the place where you need to be, then that is what I'm here for, all differences aside. The next verse says, you sing to all my sorrow, you turn it into joy. That's one of my favorite parts. The wind carries your whisper, and I can hear your still small voice saying. Now, that's the main part that I want to speak to today, because just in saying, God sings to all of our sorrow, it made me picture, a child who is laying in their bed, getting ready to go to sleep, and maybe they're sad about something that happened in the day, or they don't want to go to bed, or they're begging to stay up later, or they don't want their mommy or their daddy to leave them. And sometimes their mother or their father will sit there on the edge of the bed and they'll sing to them. And as they sing to them, that child just slowly begins to fall asleep because they're at peace. And so in those moments of feeling that sorrow of whatever it is that we may be going through, God is singing that beautiful song of peace over us and turning it into joy. He's giving us rest. And we can be that in other people's lives as well. The second part was the most powerful part of the song for me personally. The wind carries your whisper. Because if we listen carefully, we can hear that still small voice, which was the second part of that. And I can hear your still small voice. We can hear it if we listen very carefully. It reminds me of a sweet, sweet great grandma that we had that lived right beneath us in the apartment, right below us when we first moved to Florida. And she was our great grandma. We loved her with everything we had. She passed a couple of years ago. But she was from Uganda, and so it was very hard to understand her and with her accent. But if you took the time to just sit and just listen to her, you would hear every word and understand everything that she was saying. And she was so soft-spoken. I mean, you had to position yourself to listen to her. And that is the same thing that we have to do with God. It's not that we can't hear him. We're not trying to hear him. We're not positioning ourselves to say, okay, I'm listening to you, all distractions aside. I don't want to hear the noise. I need to hear what you are speaking right now in this moment. And when I tell you, I would sit down right beside her and I would say, okay, say it again. And she would say it again and I would get it because I focused my attention on her. I knew I could understand her. It was just everything else around me that was clouding what I was trying to hear. And the fact that God can whisper to us, he's not on a platform. He's not on a pedestal. He's not shouting out his commands. He's not firing off, things in a loud voice like thunder, trying to get our attention. He's trying to get our attention in the whisper, in the small voice. And so we don't have to position ourselves up here, with a loud voice and on a platform to get people to hear us. If we just speak in the voice that God has given us, no matter how soft, but just being able to speak with what he has given to us. Being able to speak more with passion, more with patience, more with kindness, more with love than shouting out a demand or shouting out what we are expecting of somebody else, but just speaking from our heart in that still small voice. You will be heard. And there are moments when we're supposed to speak, and there's moments when we need to just be quiet. And that's okay. That's not showing a position of being small and insignificant. It's just having wisdom and knowing the right time to speak. Knowing when you do speak that it will make an impact because it was at the right time. And the last part of this song says, I can feel peace coming. I can see fear running. Just visualize that. I can feel peace coming. I can see fear running. Because when there is peace, there is no fear. And that's one thing that I really, really pay attention to on a daily basis, is that when something happens unexpectedly in our life, maybe something happened, today that I was not expecting to happen, or it wasn't exactly positive. If I am operating in fear, then I do not have the peace of God. If I have peace over that situation, then there is no fear. And so I would rather be in the place of peace and knowing that God is going to do everything he said he was going to do. He is going to cover me. He's going to protect me. He is going to work in it for me than for me to be over here operating in fear and feeling like everything is going to fall apart. What am I going to do? I'm going to be stressed. I feel overwhelmed. I can't accomplish these things. That is not where he wants us to be. So we need to walk in his peace and watch fear run away. And the last part says, your love, it just does something. Sets my feet to dancing. His love is one of the most powerful things in our life that we could ever receive, accept. And sometimes, with everything else that we're dealing with and we're going through, oftentimes we push it away or we reject it, not even knowing it. And he's like a father and a daddy who just wants to take you and wrap you in his arms and tell you how much he loves you and tell you how much he is going to protect you, watch over you, and work those things out for you. And sometimes that's all we need. Instead of worrying and being overwhelmed over things that we have no control over. And so, that's really just it today, you guys. I just wanted to share my heart and really reflect on, what I was feeling this week and knowing that, the love of God is what is needed right now in this world. The love of God more than our own platforms and our own loud voices. That soft, still voice and the love of God is what is needed in this moment. So agree to disagree, but don't lose those relationships and those connections that mean so much more than an opinion. And so I pray you guys have a wonderful day. I am going to actually share the link to this song in the description of the episode. So if you want to go and listen to it on YouTube, you can. But as for that, I just want to thank you again for joining me on Expressions of Destiny podcast. And I will talk to you soon. God bless.